tide's on the turn, the boat must away. Your sad eyes reveal what your heart cannot say. Every step to the quay is a mile on the way. From the island that can't stop you leaving today. Come again, sing the sandpiper's song. Come back to the island where you belong, and the isle that is home wherever you stray. Will blossom its flowers in welcome today. Well, they'll load up the boat, they'll cast her away, as the waves show their teeth to the rocks in the bay. Turn your back to the hill, turn your face to the sea. Turn away from the island you're leaving today. Come again, sing the sandpiper's song. Come back to the island where you belong, and the isle that is home wherever you stray. It'll blossom its flowers in welcome today. Well, the water is white, the waves turn to grey. The island's behind you, a lifetime away. If you turn to the hill, you might just see the bay. Turn and smile at the island you're leaving today. Come again, sing the sandpiper's song. Come back to the island where you belong, and the isle that is home wherever you stray. It'll blossom its flowers in welcome today. Come again, sing the sandpiper's song. Come back to the island where you belong, and the isle that is home wherever you stray. It'll blossom its flowers in welcome today. It'll blossom its flowers in welcome today. It'll blossom its flowers in welcome today.
Fesgur Ma agus Falcha, good evening and welcome to the Islay Gathering's 159th gathering. It's very sad that we cannot meet in person, and this is going to be our first ever online event, but we're delighted to welcome you anyway, no matter where you are, whether you're in Islay, whether you're in Glasgow, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in France, all over the world. We welcome you to our 159th and first virtual gathering. We have some wonderful artists for you tonight, including the young talent in Islay, Islay's Highland dancers, and numerous wonderful Gaelic singers. And I hope you really enjoy your evening. I'm delighted to welcome, and much thanks to Mr. Callum Murray, who is the chairperson for tonight's online event. The gathering will be held over 2 evenings, Friday the 12th and Saturday the 13th, and we really hope you dip in and watch all the events and all the singers that are on over the course of the 2 nights. We thank you and, as I said, very much welcome you to this unusual Islay gathering, and we hope that for our 160th gathering that we get to meet in person next year. But for just now, I will pass you over to my chairperson, Mr. Callum Murray, and I hope you enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Hello, Callum Murray here. When Don McEachern, this year's president of the Glasgow Islay, contacted me out of the blue to ask if I would be willing to be a principal guest at this year's Islay gathering, I jumped at the chance. It's not an invitation that anyone could refuse. What an honour. It involved, she said, saying a few words and possibly introducing the entertainment. This year's gathering was to be what they call virtual. That is, it was going to be online using the power of the internet. No meeting in a Glasgow hall, no dancing, no meeting up with friends for an annual knees up. Something to do with a pandemic, I was told. A resilient bunch, the Islay. The show must go on. A tradition started in the middle of the 19th century can't be allowed to wither away because of a nasty virus. Lots of people who go to the Islay gathering do it principally for the sheer enjoyment of meeting up with other people for an evening of fun, and they know very little about its history. So I thought I'd spend a few minutes to remind you of that history. The 19th century saw an exodus of Highlanders and Islanders from their home to seek economic benefit in the big city. This was equally true of the folk from Islay. Glasgow was a place you might find work when there was none available on the island. The population of Gaels in Glasgow grew fairly rapidly. The census of 1881 calculated that there were over 11,000 Gaelic speakers in Glasgow, and this rose to 18,500 by 1901. They weren't always made welcome by the native Glaswegians, so it was only natural that they formed communities to support and protect each other. To quote from the Glasgow Islay website, like those emigrating to America where some kinsmen would sponsor and help the new immigrant, so it was in Glasgow. A family member or friend from the native area would help and sponsor the new incomer to the city. He or she was helped with accommodation and with the task of finding employment. When they were established with their own home and employment, they in turn extended the helping hand to someone else. It therefore became natural to stay in the area where friends already resided. Often the men worked in the same area of employment, having been introduced by friends already working there. It was natural that the Gaels missed the sense of community they had enjoyed back home, and they craved social contact with their own kind. So this inevitably led to the formation of Highland associations. And so in 1862, an Common Islay was set up by a group of Glasgow Islay following an inaugural meeting in Garrick's Hotel in Stockwell Street. The first get-togethers of the association were very different from the annual gatherings we know today. Early reunions took the form of a soiree and ball held in the Waterloo Rooms. Tea was on the table at 7:30 p.m, followed an hour later by fruit. As many as 3 orations were given during the course of the evening, and those were interspersed with light entertainment. By the turn of last century, the concert and dance replaced the tea and fruit format, and following the First World War, the association began to greatly expand. The 1920s and 30s proved to be heady days for the association, and the annual gatherings became a must for city Gaels and Ilays in particular. The gathering went from strength to strength, and by the 1970s, when the gathering was held in the St Andrew's Hall, more people had to be turned away at the door than actually attend nowadays. Some of the work done by the association is of a benevolent nature and supports worthy causes. Financial assistance has been given to the publication of volumes of poetry, for example, Duncan Johnson's Cronin and Tongue. Prizes have been donated for the local and national Maud and the Scottish Pipers Association. As you pass the monument to Iang Ogila on Knoch na Dala at Bridgend, you might not know, but it was provided by the association, nor that help is given for the upkeep of the American monument on the O and the island's war graves. Well, there you are then, a little bit of history. But let's move on now to what you've all been waiting for, the entertainment. The committee has been very busy putting together a programme to celebrate the talent to be found here on Islay. The talent has contributed videos which they hope you will enjoy. On with the show! An essential ingredient of any ceilidh on Islay is a display of Highland dancing by youngsters of all ages and experience. Here on Islay, we have been very lucky to have Ella Edgar teaching these skills, literally for generations. And she's keen to continue. She tells me that now that the rules have been eased a bit, classes will start again at the end of next week. At this Islay gathering, you have a chance to see just how good they all are with performances throughout the evening. Enjoy them all. Ryan Johnson is 20 years old and comes from Bumore. He's always been a singer and enjoys participating in local and national mods. He was one of the stars of Islay High School's performance of a Queen tribute musical a few years back. But now he's currently studying geography and sustainable development at St Andrews University, though he still enjoys singing Gaelic songs when he has the chance.
There may put on elan fod, elan clean nach goraman yon, an telan nach kinig frug, hae han drast fochug. Nishan folk corner dolwaun, be I vud fjekach gwaun, Ugen star no gabi haun, es biner joy her fundre. Shemach bine geine hokamba, chure in shefjege bjar, hoke gwal le kade hart, son viku vain ferashe. Sandy alleine fiken stuur, Gobne klasher tonan dun, nur ga vegen mahu, echur sech apunerga. Oger boiach haefas, han puram eke hargachat, ik muncher glas hugundal, gavel kurks donache. Krieg an Gria nach Krieg an Baum, an Kore dünnen tog al fam, Sanne jeff jeredis jaun, blupers jegnan kulchen. Fear me klud on elan vod, elan kia nach koraman jord, an tilan nach kinje früh, hae an gras vogeri.
The Islay Community Pipe Band truly is a band for the community. Under the direction of Pipe Major Neil McTaggart, they have performed at events and ceilidhs across the island. The pipers, along with Neil himself, are Louise McIntyre, Megan McMillan and the young Liam Gray. On the bass drum is John McIntyre, Louise's dad, and Davy Hasty is on the snare drum. Their set has Row Me Home to Islay, Glendaruel Highlanders and Leaving Portaskeg. Angus Darragh loves playing tunes on his accordion, and he has sung at many an Islay Ceilidh over the years. The son of Donald and Bunty Darragh, he grew up in Bridgend, going to Newton Primary School before the family moved to Bowmore. His love of singing started at an early age, and his talents were much appreciated at house ceilidhs from the age of 12 on. Angus worked as a stillman at Bowmore Distillery for 42 years, but he missed it so much when he retired that he went back as a tour guide for a couple of days a week.
On island in the distance, that's a place where I long to be. So roll me home now, back to Islay. Roll me home now, across the sea. Hear the mavis and the curlew, they are calling to welcome me. So roll me home now, back to Islay. Roll me home now, across the sea. See on island in the distance, that's a place where I long to be. So roll me home now, back to Islay. Roll me home now, across the sea. There is someone I am seeking, someone there who is dear to me. So roll me home now, back to Islay. Roll me home now, across the sea. When I reach that distant island, I shall stay there forevermore. So roll me home now, please I beg you. Roll me home now, across the sea. See on island in the distance, that's the place where I long to be. So roll me home now, back to Islay. Roll me home now, across the sea. Roll me home now, across the sea.
Jane McQueen was born and brought up in Portellen. She went to university initially to do music, but switched to hospitality and business, eventually lecturing on them in further education. She kept up her interest in music, however, and sang with the Glasgow Islay Gaelic Choir for 15 years and conducted the Glasgow Islay Junior Choir for 17 years. She's now conducting the Stirling Gaelic Choir.
Pleasken Maachartjen, Hamid Dullahain, Oran, the Maichin Vada, the Song of the Mermaid. Huva is naharan, huva is naharan he. Huva is naharan, huva sound leva Hawain, get this maidchen for me. Huva is na horan, huva is na horan he. Huva is na horan, huva saun le faile bialumi. Haniel machatos ach loanyach, noar vis poares chich, amin reiren koreverachken, bimin noch anjelani. Huva is na horan, huva is na horani. Huva is na horan, huva saun le faile bialuni. Schaus eichten grond na fadaitje, huvan rekich sarkunji, wanjarach chamach gesule, almen koers na wucherstrie. Huva is na horan, huva is na horan he. Huva is na horan, huva saun le faile bialuni.
Alistair Curry is some singer. He won the gold medal at the National Mod in Lochaber in 2017, no mean feat. He was born and brought up on Ballyclaven Farm near Ballygrant. He went to Keogh's Primary School and then the high school. After that, he went off to Salmourostig on the Isle of Skye, where he studied for a degree in Gaelic and traditional music. He worked for a while in Glasgow, and then he returned home, where he got a job in Bowmore Distillery. By the way, he also plays the pipes, and he has his own flock of black-faced sheep.
nachtil genau, nachtil mi fein rüttenet mi, saun hamogelse na laici. Kavim mistririch chreib nach lublem, ket hine gulan var kachik, moharis van lekt mar hein maka, kakani krijken verlan Morun gal Giles, 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 Morun gal Giles, nach Gilinau, Kachil mi fein rütteget mi, saun hamogelse na laici.
What a musical family the Morris girls are. Their dad is Piper Nigel Morris and Mum Gillian is a school teacher. They must be very proud of the girls. The oldest girl, Abby, is 17. She sings, plays the fiddle and for years was a skilled Highland dancer. The younger two are twins, both 14, obviously. Rebecca, the elder by a few minutes, plays the whistle and Rowan is on keyboards. It's a treat to hear them play together.
Well, I took a stroll down the long walk with the day and the I met a little girl and we started to talk, but the lights off the alley. I asked you what's the girl to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue.
everyone, it's lovely to be part of the Islay gathering this year. I'm going to sing a traditional Islay pibroch called Ceann Trai Gruinart, and it's about the Battle of Gruinart Sands, which happened in 1598, and it was where the MacLeans tried to take Islay from the MacDonalds, but against all odds the MacDonalds managed to get the MacLeans to retreat. Saonig Ceann Trai Gruinart, Ag mín cuirí. Saonig Ceann Trai Gruinart, ag mí farahan glám sa bhuailg bulian. Ag Ceann Trai Gruinart, ag mí. Cládú cládam, clámochríoch. Cládú cládam, clálam. Gurúdúr éireach mín clálandu. Gurúdúr éireach mín clálan. Saonig Ceann Trai Gruinart, ag mín cuirí. Saonig Ceann Trai Gruinart, ag mí farahan glám sa bhuailg bulian. Ag Ceann Trai Gruinart, ag mí. Cládú cládam, clámochríoch. Cládú cládam, clálam. Gurúdúr éireach mín clálandu. Gurúdúr éireach mín clálan. Saonig Ceann Trai Gruinart, ag mín cuirí. Saonig Ceann Trai Gruinart, ag mí farahan glám sa bhuailg bulian. Ag Ceann Trai Gruinart, ag mí.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, past presidents and members of our Kindred Association, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight for our first half of our gathering on Friday the 12th of March. We hope you've enjoyed yourself, and we look forward to you joining us tomorrow night on the 13th of March for the second half of our Glasgow Islay gathering virtual event. It's with sadness that I would like to say that we are mourning the loss of one of our very own, Mr. Ian Carmichael from Keels, one of our past presidents. He will be a sad loss to our association and our future gatherings, and also to mention the many other people from Islay that have sadly passed away during 2020 and 2021. But without further ado, thank you again for joining us tonight, and we'll look forward to you joining us tomorrow night. Thank you.